Welcome back to Recap. We're hitting what quite possibly could be the first, or at least the very early recording of Aerosmith's song Dream On. Alright, those of you that know me know that I am a huge Aerosmith fan. And if you ever had any question or any doubt about my dedication to this channel, not that I've heard a whole lot of that or anything like that, but if you had any in your head, this should show you that I'm dedicated to this channel because I've actually held off on listening to an Aerosmith album after it's been released. I've only heard the songs and been listening to the songs that I've already reviewed. But now that the whole album is out, I've actually held off so I can give you guys genuine reactions to songs. Although it does help that I already knew the songs. If this was a new release with new material, I probably would have just listened to the whole thing in the first day. But, you know, I know these songs, so it's not that big of a deal for me to hold off a little bit on them. But this is Dream On. Everybody knows Dream On. If you don't know it, welcome to Aerosmith's probably best known song. But I don't know what we're going to get from this in terms of how different it is from the versions that we already know. The studio version, the original, live versions. So, you know, let's see what differences there are. Up until this point, Steven Tyler's voice is a little like overmodulated in these videos. The production value is way low. There's no, it seems like they're very raw, very gritty cuts. And like I said, this might be the first recording of Dream On that the band ever did as a whole. This is 1971. The album the debut album came out two years later, 1973, and this song was on it. So let's see what the differences is between those two. So anyway, I'm excited. It's my favorite band. Let's get to this. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Here we go.
On my face getting clearer. The past is gone. It went by like dust to dawn. Isn't that the way everybody's got the dues in life and bread?
So far.
Have my knife and our books, written pages, stolen facts, learned from fools and from sages. If you've the earth, sing with me this mournful dance. Sing with me, sing for the earth, sing for the laughter, sing for the tears. Sing with me, it's just for today, maybe tomorrow you win.
It's fascinating. Okay, so far so good. You know, I know this song. I've heard this song literally probably hundreds of times. It is a little different. Obviously, the recording in 1971 has its own unique sound anyway. The drums are really in the forefront, which is cool. I like that. I will say that Steven Tyler's voice is still a little bit overmodulated, but not as bad as what it seemed like in the other songs. And the lyrics, there's a couple little changes I've noticed. Nothing major, but there's definitely some changes in there, and the song is a lot faster. It's a totally different tempo to what they end up releasing 2 years later. But it still sounds pretty good, and let's finish this up. Okay, there you have it. That is Dream On from 1971, off the album The Road Starts Here. And I gotta say, obviously they did some tinkering to the song. They did some tinkering with the lyrics later. It's an unfinished product at this point, but it's kind of cool to see how this song began. And like I said, I'm not sure, and if anybody knows for sure, and I'm surprised I don't, that if this was like the first recording of Dream On with all 5 of the members of the band. I'm not sure if that's the case or not. If not, it's got to be at least one of the earliest recordings of it. This is 2 years before their debut album. Anyway, the scream there at the end. Steven Tyler's trademark has become his screechy, growly, shriek screams that he does. And the one that everybody, is iconic is the one at the end of Dream On. Now, he didn't really do it there. It was kind of a weak one. But again, he hadn't developed that yet. That wasn't part of his singing repertoire yet. He didn't know that he was going to end up developing this huge scream at the end of Dream On. So he just sung it like that. It wasn't much of one at all. It's funny what it became, though, years later. You know what? In fact, what I'll do, I'm going to throw this in here right now. This is from, I'll throw in my favorite scream that he's ever done. It's from MTV's 10th anniversary show. It was them with a symphony, and they did Dream On. I'm not going to do the whole song or anything like that. I'm just going to show you a quick clip of what the scream was at that show, and then you could think in your mind and compare it to what we just heard, how different it is. Here we go. Okay, so obviously that's way different, way totally unique, and I think the best version of that song is that orchestra version or symphony version, and also the scream there and the whole song if you're gonna hear Dream On for the first time and you want someone to really enjoy it, I think that's the best version to listen to. I think that's the best version of the song, just my opinion. Anyway, also real quick, last thing I want to say, at the end of this, the piano outro changed the tempo and changed into a different song for a little bit. And then it was done. What that was there's a song from the Rocks album, which many people believe is their best album, called Home Tonight. And the opening piano of Home Tonight is what we just heard there at the end of Dream On in that song. That's the opening piano for Home Tonight that he would end up using, what, 8 years later, 7 years later, 6 years later, something like that. Maybe 6 years later. But so it's kind of, kind of interesting that he had that in his back pocket that entire time and didn't put it into a song until much later, till like 4 albums later. Anyway, just some unique little nuggets, unique little facts for you there. I hope you enjoyed this. I certainly did. And until next time, I will see you later.